All right, it's Tuesday. We're back here at the Function House, another edition of Live from Redhook. Tonight, we'd like to welcome to the show DJ Petie Smallzz.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
Petey, what's up? Welcome.
What's up?
What's up, bro?
I've been hearing a lot about you, man.
Good things, bad things.
Well, Sinatra hit me up. He's like, yo, you got to get Petie Smallzz on the show. You've been making some noise in New York.
I'm trying, you know.
So where are you working?
Let's
talk about how you got into the whole scene.
How I got into it. I started, I want to say 2010, 2011. I was on a cruise. I seen a DJ on a cruise. And I was like, wow, this is sick, you know. He's controlling a crowd. Like, this is like before I knew anything about it. And this song, like, We Know Speak Americano was out at the time. That was like the hottest song. So whatever, I got off the cruise. I downloaded that song. I put it on replay on virtual DJ. And like a week later, I was like, I'm ready. So I went to Sam Ash, whatever. I got like some bullshit controller. Spent like $300. It was like my life savings at the time. Whatever, I started practicing. And then a year later, I got my first club booking at a teen night at Rasputin.
So who booked you for the teen night?
George K, actually.
Yep.
George K booked me for the teen night, yeah. And then the rest is history. But it's crazy because even before that, like when I was a kid, I would go to like private parties, like weddings, you know, everybody, Gargiulios, Italian families. And I would just sit there and stare at the DJ. I would be mesmerized by the lights.
That was you staring at the DJ?
That was me staring at the DJ. I would sit there and I would just look at the lights go. And like my parents would be like, what the hell is this kid doing? He's just staring at the lights. Like, he looks like an idiot. But I was always mesmerized with it. So I guess like.
So you come from an Italian family, so they must be breaking your chops about not having benefits as a DJ.
You know what? Not really, because my family has a
They see the checking account, right?
not only that, I mean, whatever. My family's in the pizza business. They own Crispy Pizza. So like, they never even had like the benefits like working for the city. So like for them, I mean, they wanted me to take over the business. I tried working there. I worked in the pizzeria for 7, 8 years, and it just wasn't for me. So I was like, you know what? I gotta focus on this, do this full force.
That's good that you have supportive parents.
Yeah, you know, they bought me after my controller for like Christmas. Like a year and a half later, they got me like my first set of like Stanton turntables and like a new Mark mixer. It's like first time I ever used Serato. So they were like the foundation. You know, if that makes any sense.
So the one thing I want to know is there any relations to Biggie?
No relation.
No?
How I got the name is I was looking through like my Wi-Fi's at my house, and I seen Petie Smallzz, and I'm like, this is weird. Like the only other guy on my block that's named Peter is my cousin Pete. He lives next door. So I'm like, oh, it's got to be him. So I text him like, yo, is this your thing, Petie Smallzz? Because he's a creative kid. So I thought, yo, he's got to come up with a name like that. And he's like, no, it's not me. I'm like, oh, whatever, that's weird. So I just like started putting it as my like BBM name, Petie. This is before I was even a DJ. Just like whatever. It was just like my little nickname. And then from there, I was like, oh, wow, this is a cool name to pick as a DJ, whatever. And then that's it. That's how I got the name.
So your calendar is pretty impressive. Like
Yeah.
I've you know, since we booked you on the show, I've been following your Instagram and stuff like that, and I see that you get a lot of bookings. What goes into getting those bookings?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like for a lot of other people, like I've been doing this for a while, maybe like 6, 7 years, whatever the math is on 7 years.
I guess that's a long time now, right? Like when someone says like I'm DJing a long time.
Yeah, but I guess so because like I don't know. I've only been really this busy for like the past year and a half, really. You know. So what it takes, I feel like now is you just gotta like actually bring.
You're not signed to no agency, so
yeah,
there's nobody helping you with these
I
bookings.
do
So
on my own.
when you look at a calendar and there's 35 dates in a month, you know, like what is this kid doing? You know?
Yeah. I think that to myself the same thing. Like, but it's mostly just networking. Like about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I was sitting down and I was like, shit, I really need to get my shit together and like start hitting these city clubs. So what I did is I sat down and I went on Instagram. And I checked the check-ins to every single club in the city, and I DM'd every single girl that went to a city club, and I was like, what are you doing? You go out to the city? Like, I'm starting to DJ these clubs. Like, yeah, here's my number, this, that. And I would just DM them and bring them out, and I was bringing out like 40, 50, 60 girls a night. But like, I was only doing like 1 night a week, 2 nights a week, so I'm just like, oh, whatever. And then from there, just like, builds up over time. And then I met Shim, who did house. Shim was booking me at house for like a year and a half. I was crushing it there. And then I knew that he was doing Tuesday Baby Tuesday, so I was like, you know what? I was like, how am I gonna get this gig, Tuesday Baby Tuesday? I was like, this is a sick party, like whatever. So I email him and this guy Joe Delgado was booking me at house at the time. He was like the GM or whatever. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, you guys not gonna hold down the room? Like, let's try me out Tuesday Baby Tuesday. I'm like 5 minutes later, like, nah, like we have our resident guys, we're not switching it up. All right, whatever. At least I tried. You know what I mean? And then like a week later, Shim texts me and he go, it's a Tuesday at like 5 p.m. And he's like, what are you doing tonight? And I'm like, nothing. I'm like, so whatever. I'm like, what's up? He's like, I need an opening DJ for Up and Down. You want to do it? I'm like, yeah, fucking bring me in. I didn't even ask about money. I was like, yeah, I'm down. I'm like, let's do it. So whatever. From there, he put me on 1 week. And
How many girls did you bring to that first up and down booking?
0, because it was like 5 p.m. and then I had to be there at 11. So I was like, I was just excited.
You didn't bring one girl?
Nah, I didn't bring one girl the
Really?
first time. Yeah. So I just showed up.
How psyched were you for that gig?
Oh man, I was so excited. I texted everybody. I was like, "Holy shit, I'm doing up and down. This is insane." And whatever. Like, I was so excited.
So are you all over social media when you're doing these gigs?
Yeah. I always post on like Snapchat and like Instagram. I'm always staying active by just like saying a bunch of funny shit and just like posting relatable stuff that like people can relate. And then what's it? I don't know, people like I guess they like me, whatever, and then they say I'm funny and they want to come out to the parties I'm playing at, I guess.
It's a good gig, bro.
It's
You
just
give
like
off good
whatever.
vibes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good vibe. It's a good time. But anyway, like when I started first getting the up and down gig, I was like, yo, I really got to start crushing it. And me and my boy Anthony, we became partners. And I realized that like in order to really like dominate the scene, you got to like be a big promoter. So whatever, he would help me with the DMs, and we would go out and we would go insane. Like we would have 30, 40 girls at the table. We would be pouring vodka all over them. These girls were getting naked at the table, making out with each other. It was like a show at the club. Like I was opening up at the time. So then the DJs that were playing, they would see my table. They'd be like, Petey, what the fuck you doing on the mic? Like look at that. It looks crazy. And everybody would like look at my snaps. They'd be like, yo, this is insane. I need to come out with you. This looks like a good time, whatever. And then
So how many guys hit you up to go out?
a lot of guys hit me up. But you know what? I mean, as long as they're buying tables, you know what I mean? I didn't mind. I was like, I do a bottle ad on 500. Yeah, well, you're going to be with 30 hot girls making out with each other. You know what I mean? It's worth it. Because guys that go out, they spend $3,000-$4,000. It's 7 dudes on a table. They're sitting there jerking off. You know what I mean? They're not doing anything. And I see this all the time. Like, I'll be there at my table. I didn't pay for the table. I got 30 girls making out with each other. I see the guy over there, these schmucks spending $3,000-$4,000. They're sitting there looking at me. I don't.
Well, that's why they put him next to you.
Yeah,
Business is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're bringing all these people to these places, and they're spending all this money. That means that you should start doing your own parties.
Nah, I'm not at that point yet. Plus, I wouldn't want to step on any toes. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm doing good right now. I'm not really into the whole like throwing a party. I like it now, just like showing up and playing. Now it's kind of like on autopilot over the past like year or so. Whereas like I'm not gonna bring 40 girls to the club. Maybe I'll do like 15, 20. But it's just like I'm not even being asked anymore at this point. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like, you want to DJ the party. It's not like DJ the party. And bring
So
40.
what does this mean to your music and DJing aspect? Because bringing the people to the party is a totally different game than what it means to really be a DJ. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I wasn't around during the time where like you could just be a dope DJ and like get in there and play the records, because like not a lot of people doing it. But now everybody's DJ, so you kind of gotta like make yourself different. But I'm not basing my whole career on the fact that I bring girls, because like promoters aren't stupid. They see that like people are spending money when I'm there, like the crowd's rocking. You know what I mean? They're not gonna just bring like I work with guys where like they're not gonna bring me back if I'm shit. You know what I mean? Like they know like what music is for the most part. You know what I mean? Like I'll see them tell me, like, look at this guy, he's on, he sucks. Like, you know what I mean? Would it go hop on? You know what I mean? So I'm not saying like my whole career is mostly like based on just bringing these girls, but I mean it is what it is. You know what I mean? You guys are DJs. I'm sure you know how it is. As far as like how the business is now.
Just like bringing 40 girls to a club, like they can sell 4 tables of dudes and put them around you. That's the way the business is now.
Yeah.
So they'll put you on one table, and then the 2 tables next to you will go for big money because there's 40 girls at your table.
Yep.
So it's really important. It's good that you have that network of girls to call up.
Yeah, of course. And it's like now over time, like I've kind of become friends with all the promoters. Like I've become close with them. So it's like I don't know. They're not really hitting me up for the girls anymore. They just know it just comes with it. You know what I mean?
That's good. So what are the places that you're holding down? What are the residencies?
So I just got residency at One Oak one Friday a month, which is sick because I was like One Oak. You know what I mean? It's dope. I do every Tuesday at Up and Down, and then one Saturday a month at Up and Down. I do one Saturday a month at Gilded Lily. Fridays I'll do house. I'll do also I do Fridays. I'm drawing a blank. Fridays, Saturdays I'll do house. Saturdays, Gilded Lily, Highland Ballroom, Attic.
And you've been doing stuff down at the
Tower,
shore, right?
Marquee.
You did stuff down at the shore this year?
No,
No?
I didn't do anything at the shore.
Hamptons.
Nope.
So you're doing some traveling coming up, right? You have some stuff coming up.
Well, I have a gig actually international, but it's not me playing. It's a little alias I have.
So let's talk
Nobody-
about that for a second. So you produce music.
I do produce music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't produce as Petie Smallzz.
I I was producing as Petie Smallzz. I now produce under a different alias. But I mean, nobody really knows it's me, so I guess we'll get on to the.
So
the
that's
next topic.
good. So what? No, what? Let's talk about the style of music. What type?
Sure.
What style of music are you producing?
So when I was producing under Petie Smallzz, I was doing more of like a 150 BPM, weird, like Diplo-y, trap-ish, like kind of stuff, and it was like just.
You're not Mala, are you?
No, I wish I was Mala. But under my alias, I produce kind of like a bass house, like some throwbacks. I'll remix some G house, just fun stuff, stuff where you're gonna hear it at a festival and be like, oh shit, I know that song.
What gave you the idea to come up with this alias?
Well, at the time, I came up with it 2 years ago. I wasn't really getting like a lot of club gigs, and I was looking at a lot of my friends who were producing too, and they were blowing up. This kid 4B, not really my friend, but just somebody that was doing T-Nuts was kid 4B, Zax, and I'm seeing these kids are traveling the world. They're getting paid thousands of dollars because they're producing music, and like I taught this one producer who's like blowing up now how to DJ. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I taught this kid how to DJ. He's traveling the world. What the hell am I doing wrong? And he was like, got to make music. Whatever. I came up with this cool brand, and it's been working so far. So we'll see how it goes.
That's really cool.
Maybe you guys will find out who it is, and very soon.
So you have traveling gigs with your alias.
With my alias, yep. I'm going to China actually in September, but I traveled to Vegas. I did a couple New York shows.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so it's like slowly but surely, you know what I mean. It's cool because something like just producing, and then this also opens up my eyes too because like I've been DJing in the city for a while, but I haven't gotten any international shows, and I'm just playing music. But like this, I produce music and it reaches the world. You know what I mean? People in China hear me, people in Vegas hear me, people everywhere, Canada's hear me. You know what I mean? All over. So
that's the beauty of the internet.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think people are drawn to like that whole anonymous effect.
They love it. Yeah. It's
of
just
not
like
knowing who it really is.
Exactly. And it's great too because they like you said before, they judge you for the music. You know what I mean? They're not judging you for what you look like or what you're wearing or this that. You wear the same thing. You go in there and you know what I mean. Nobody knows who you are. They know you for your music. That's how it should be.
Smart. Very
so
smart.
Look. The DJ game obviously has changed a lot from when I was rocking clubs. How do you keep yourself different? How do you stay in your lane? What is it that you do different? And how do you have all these dates a month and people are out there struggling to get gigs?
What do I do different? I feel like my sets are kind of like, when you hear stuff by me, you're going to hear like shit that you haven't heard in a while. Like, you know what I mean? Just like random stuff that's like fun music, good time, good vibes. Like I'll play One Oak and throw in My Humps by Black Eyed Peas, and people won't know what the hell is going on, but they'll love it. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't really see people doing that. So I think that's what makes me different. Just like my energy, and the stuff I play. You know what I mean? Just me as a person being more of like I have a personality. I'm not just going in a club as Petie Smallzz and I'm playing the records. Like people are they can relate to me. You know what I mean? Be like, oh, this kid made me laugh one time. Oh, this kid poured vodka down my girl's throat one time.
Sure, he likes that idea.
Yeah, it's just like. I think that's what makes me different. I don't really see a lot of these guys in the city doing what I do, and that's why I'm just going to keep doing it,
How do you stay on top of your music?
I use DJ City, I use Franchise, and I use DMP. So I just go in there,
How often are you searching for new music?
I would say like once a week. Maybe like 1 or 2 times a week. It's mainly whenever I get like a chance, I'm sitting down, I'm like, all right, I need new music. Sometimes I won't check it for like 2 weeks. Cause
So when you're not DJing, are you out politicking? You out like?
No, never.
No?
A lot of people say I should. I mean, I've gone to Oak a couple times on a Sunday when I'm not booked, and I'll just go there and just see everybody because like now I'm starting to work there. So like I'll go there, I'll try and meet the security, I'll meet the GMs and stuff. But for the most part, it's just like when I'm not working, I don't even want to be near a club. You know what I mean? Like I drive with my music off because my ears are so shot. Like,
you're not the only one. You're only 22 years old.
Only 22, yeah.
Yeah, so you have a long club life ahead.
You haven't even hit your prime yet.
Yeah, not yet. Hopefully not yet.
That's great, man. So did you prepare something for us?
I'm just gonna wing it, honestly.
Are you really? You came to the Function House and you're just gonna wing it?
I have a couple things, but I'm just gonna wing it. I feel like it's more fun, just bring it. I feel like going by a playlist is like boring, We'll see what happens.
An hour and a half becomes very long.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
at the Function
I'm sure
House.
you put in some time though in these clubs, right? Doing some long sets.
I've done some 6-hour sets before, like random bars. So,
is there anything coming up that you want to promote? Maybe talk about some gigs that you got coming. You're working tonight, right?
Yeah, I'm working tonight at Up and Down. So it's my residency Tuesday, Baby Tuesday. It's the longest running party in New York City history. I think it's been going on for like 20-something years, which is cool to be a part of it. You know what I mean? Just like I'm doing Oak next Friday, which is cool, and that's really it. That's exciting. That's coming up. You know what I mean? It's kind of like same thing now. You know what I mean? Just running through the clubs.
So who are your favorite promoters in New York City?
Favorite promoters. I mean, I'm really close with George. You know, I mean, George is like a good friend of mine, so I would say he's like definitely my favorite. You know, I don't really look at him as a promoter. You know, he's more like my.
You
boy.
better keep bringing girls and bottle clients to the club.
Nah, I mean, there's a lot of times George will put me on a big party and I'll flop and won't bring a soul. You know what I mean? And like I'll get the scolding. You know
I
what
like
mean?
George.
Yeah,
I know
he's
George a
good
long
guy.
time.
But you know, that's just how it is. You know, he's gotta put me in a place. Be like, yo, listen, I put you on a Travis Scott party. You didn't bring one person. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know.
You good? Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a 2-minute break. I'm gonna get Petie Smallzz up on the decks.
Do it.
Peace.
Peace.